Hey guys, so it was under this tree right here. I was stood in 2011 where I had a contact experiences with a mothership, with what was probably a Yahyel mothership. My counterpart to Hina of the Yahyel that I channel, I believe it was the Yahyel mothership or a very large Yahyel craft. So what happened was I was stood in the field visualizing a golden ball of light flying over my head, and I opened my eyes and there was a golden ball of light flying over my head. No word of lie. I'd been meditating for about 10 minutes, and when I opened my eyes, there it was. But it was actually a Chinese lantern. It's an amazing testament to the power of visualization and the power of the law of attraction. However, I kind of laughed it off, walked a little bit further up the hill, approached this tree from the other side, this beautiful tree here, and lo and behold, I saw a flash in the sky kind of over that way behind me from here. Then it was kind of like way to the right, another flash of sky in the light, another flash of light in the sky. Then it was right over there in the east, another flash of light in the sky, and then one light lit up, and another light lit up like about over there, and then a flash of light went between it like that. And it must have been a huge massive craft to do that. I got kind of nervous and had to force myself not to run away, to be honest. It's quite early in my contact days, and it can be quite scary when you're out on your own and in the night time and you start seeing the ships. So talking about the power of visualization, how we create our reality within our own consciousness, and kind of the awakening experience, because the spiritual awakening experience is really awakening to the idea that we are infinite consciousness and we are connected to everything, and we're creating our reality vibrationally as we go. And so when I first got into UFOs and ET contact and all this, around about 2008 time, 2009 time, when I was first researching this and learning about it, I had it was probably prior to my awakening experience in September 2009, probably 2008 or early 2009. I was listening to a lot of channeled material, and the message that seemed to be coming through was that if you want to have contact with us as a species, we're waiting for you to become enlightened. We're waiting for you all to awaken to your true nature, awaken to your infinite nature, awaken to your states of unconditional love, the understanding that we're all one, compassion, well-being, because it's kind of like they're on a completely different vibrational reality to us. They exist in another dimension of consciousness, and we need to raise our frequency closer to their dimension of reality, because where we've been living in what I sometimes call third density, we call the 3D reality, where we believe we're separate individuals and we kind of just live our selfish lives where we look after ourselves until we die and that's it, and the normal way of living, like normal humanity, that kind of 3D reality. We're kind of like delusion, we're kind of like in a sleep, in an awake state, kind of like the Walking Dead, as one channel calls them. And so the idea is that the ETs exist in a higher dimension of reality, and we can't really, it's very hard for them to interact with our reality because we're kind of like two planes like coexisting. And so really to have open contact, we need to raise our consciousness and begin to shift into what some people would call the fifth dimension, 5D, what I often call fourth density, this higher dimensional reality where we're integrating our infinite nature, our infinite connectedness, like our state of oneness and divine bliss, into our human body. And as we do this, as we go through the awakening process, we come to the realization, we have the direct experience. It becomes our natural state where we naturally feel that actually reality all exists within us. Like I've heard one channel define ascension or awakening as the shift from the belief that we exist in reality to the understanding that reality exists within us. The awakening, ascension, is the shift from the belief that we exist in reality to the understanding, the belief, the knowing, the direct experience that reality exists within us. And so this is the shift, this is the awakening. And as we go through the awakening process and we come to understand that all of creation is actually within our consciousness, this is what 5D is, this is what fourth density is, this is what the age of Aquarius, the new age, the age of awakening, this is what the spiritual awakening process is all about. And So in this space, we're kind of operating in a higher dimension of reality. We've literally completely changed our consciousness. We feel more like an energy being, a light being. We realize that we're just like a kind of a dimensional consciousness existing in a kind of a love, light, frequency, vibrational matrix. And in this reality, this is the dimension that the ETs exist in. This is the dimension that most extraterrestrial civilizations, certainly the ones that have got interdimensional spacecraft that can come here from like the other side of the universe or another dimension of reality, that they're existing in this fourth density, fifth dimensional state of consciousness. And so it's very different reality. So I've begun to experience it more and more every day, and particularly during my contact experiences, it becomes very visceral, very vibrant, very real. And it's a state of oneness, and you feel more like an energy being. You tend to feel blissful. You do feel very blissful when you're having these experiences in a contact experience. It's like ecstasy and euphoria, and it's like a whole nother octave of living. You feel that all this energy moving through you. Everything looks more colourful, everything looks brighter, everything looks like kind of in HD in high definition. It's like you've shifted into a complete different dimension of reality, ironically, because that is exactly what's happened. And it's quite the amazing experience. After my first experience with this in 2009, I was chasing this, trying to get back to that state of being for ever. This is why people get obsessed with the spiritual journey. And so this dimension of reality we're actually in, when we've gone through the awakening experience, and as we collectively shift into fourth density, into fifth dimensional consciousness, we're actually becoming multi-dimensional entities, pure light beings, pure light consciousness, still in a physical body, but the body feels different. It resonates on a higher frequency. It resonates on a new octave of consciousness, on a new level. This is fourth density reality. This is the fifth dimension. And in this reality, we understand that everything exists with us, or everything out there is actually within our own consciousness. And from here, we can kind of interact with the ETs on their level or closer to their level, because we're in a state of unity consciousness. Our telepathic abilities and our psychic abilities are connected, are much more kicked in. So it's much more easy for them to interact with us telepathically, communicate with us energetically, vibrationally, energetically. And so this is the shift. So this is why we need to awaken as beings. This is why we need to become enlightened. This is why we need to become self-realized before we can have full open contact with the extraterrestrials, as I understand it, because we have to shift our consciousness into their dimension of reality so we can perceive them. You cannot perceive what you're not the vibration of. Peace, love, light, and Shivai.